Good morning and welcome to Breaking Fry Bread. I'm Dave. This is Ty. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
How we doing today?
Doing good.
That's
Doing
good.
good.
I like the bling.
Thank you. Thank you. I like yours too. It's not showing right now, but I know what you got.
I try to stay blinged up, if you will.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I like it. It's good. It's good. So what's been going on? We haven't connected in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's it's a lot's been going on. I took another trip to California and got some tattoo work finished. I got a couple new pieces.
That's good. What'd you get this time? Oh, I saw it on Facebook, I think. You got something on the neck or the back or something, right?
Yeah, I'll send Ralph some pictures. Maybe you can put them up. But I had that language right here on my chest. It means move with purpose. And then I had him. How people get the sparrow right here?
Yeah.
On each shoulder. And he did a tribal version and made an eagle with a cedar weaving basket design. So it looks pretty.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat, man. I like it. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I got.
So you're having some fun with the tats.
Having fun.
What do the sparrows? What do the sparrows represent? I don't even know. What do they represent?
I don't know what the sparrows represent, but for me, it's the eagles.
Yeah.
It's moving yourself with purpose, and then the eagles kind of represent carrying that, and a higher understanding. Plus it's just kind of a cool design. I like it. So
yeah, that is cool. That is cool. You'll have to send over some pictures. I'll be excited to see what the eagle with the weaving basket looks like.
Yep, I'll send them over. I got the devilfish finished on my leg, and then they thickened up the lettering on the chest, and then retouched up the hands where they were kind of light, and then it's a good visit.
That is a good visit. That is a good visit. It's nothing better than going down, getting some tattoos, hanging out in California. I love it.
Brought my drum this time, and I was able to stay. Actually, we stayed a few days, and got to go and hang out with some of his friends down there, and we went and drummed at his buddy's house. Had a little jam session, and man, I walk into his buddy's house, and there's Hell's Angels stuff everywhere. Yeah. So I was like, and then I look on the chair. He's got his cut right there on the chair. So it's pretty cool, man. Hanging out, jamming with the Hell's Angel brother, and he's a Lakota native. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And he's a good guy. He's a carpenter by trade, and he shared some Lakota songs, some Lakota Sundance songs. But
he's a carpenter, a 1%er.
All of those, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Well, that's good, man. So you're having some fun getting out. What'd you take your son with you, your friends, or what?
No, it's just me.
Oh, just you. Rolling solo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. So what's going on in the tribe this week, this last month, this Christmas season?
It's been pretty chill. It's the holiday time, and they got moved out from the old administration building into the new one. So that was kind of a big deal. Aside from that, man, it's not a whole lot's changed. So
yeah, that's good. So it's just kind of quiet.
Yeah, it's been pretty calm.
I see the news on the Puyallup only Facebook page. People are waiting for per caps.
Yep, per caps. Yeah, they I think they just hit, so people can finish their Christmas shopping now.
That's awesome. What you got your Christmas shopping done?
No, man. We don't start shopping until Christmas Eve, man. So
Yeah, I haven't started shopping either. I'm a little behind on that. Listen, I saw you post this thing on the internet about your top 10 TV shows.
Did you, I saw your comment, man. I didn't lose. I didn't put Sopranos on there. Okay, but I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
I don't know that I have anything to finish. I just don't know. I don't know. How have you not watched The Sopranos?
Well, man, people were pretty upset with my list, and it's okay, but that's my list, right? Those are shows that I've watched. So I've watched a couple episodes of Sopranos, but it's like I never sat down and watched a full season, right? To watch the storyline progress. And I just never. It's a show I never got into, so I guess I got that waiting for me.
Was that show a little before you started watching shows? Is that why that happened?
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm not sure where it was aired, and things like that. It's just I was watching other things when that was going on. I don't know.
It started in like 97, 98, right? Something like that,
could be
right?
it. Yeah, I was still in high school.
Yeah, so it's like a 97, 98 show, roughly, I think, and it was on HBO.
That makes a lot of sense.
And it was like the first kind of like I think The Sopranos was like the first kind of show of its kind. Now there's 1,000 shows like The Sopranos, right, where it's just kind of like these syndicated, shows. But I don't think there had really ever been a show like The Sopranos. I don't know. What do you think, Ralph?
Yeah, that's very true. So Sopranos was kind of that first epic, sweeping family saga type of show that happened to be a bunch of Jersey gangsters. But yeah, there was nothing like that on television when Sopranos came out.
Nothing.
It was truly groundbreaking and
right.
really set the stage and the way for many television shows.
It changed the realm of television forever.
Completely.
Because the shows that came after it, and then all of the other networks started to copy HBO. Like the thing used to be like late 90s, early 2000s. It's like Sunday night on HBO had the 3 best shows or the 4 best shows all the time. And they won all the Emmys and they won all the awards every year. And then they had some turnover. Guy left, went to Showtime, right? Mm-hmm. Started making shows over there. But so I started watching that. I started watching The Sopranos. Mm-hmm. And that was, kind of a lifestyle that, was appealing at the time. And so, I think it just kind of hooked me in that way. That's kind of why it is. But I don't know.
Yeah.
The newer shows.
They're entertaining.
It was like, I remember, just watching that constantly over and over again. I don't know. It is what it is. There's a million great shows out there.
Well, looking at your list, Ty, I think, Sons of Anarchy, Ozarks, Peaky Blinders, those specific 3 shows, I don't think that those shows would exist if it weren't for The Sopranos. So at some point you should sit down and watch the OG because a lot of that DNA of those family saga, crime family, things like that, I think you'd love it, man.
Yeah, I gotta pay homage, man. I gotta do it justice. I'm gonna get around to watching that. A lot of people are upset I didn't have The Wire, which I've never seen.
The Wire's good. The Wire's good. Breaking Bad is good. Mm-hmm. But see, here's the thing about Breaking Bad. Okay, I am gonna go out on a limb here and say if it's a gangster show and the good guys win at the end, I have no interest in watching it. I am only interested in seeing the bad guys prevail when it comes to that kind of a show. I am not interested in seeing the police win the day. And at the end of the day, Breaking Bad does not end favorably. Therefore, I wasted 5 years of my life watching that show. And they should have killed Jesse, bullet to the head in real life. And, homeboy, Breaking Bad guy should have got away. Should have. That's my interpretation. Like, If
Well,
you,
thank you for saving me 5 years of my life.
yeah. Like literally, that show you don't have to watch it because the ending is so. Like, I don't know how you can watch a show and then like want the police to win. Like, who is doing this? I'm all about the police and supporting Blue Lives Matter, and I'm all about supporting our police. I love our police. I love what they do. I love that they're first responders. I understand, like, they pull somebody over, they risk their life every time. When we have a problem, they're the people I call. I love them. I support them. I'll wear my thin blue line bracelet, my hat. Like, I love supporting the police. I love supporting our tribal police. I'm a big proponent in what they do. But when it comes to entertainment, and I'm watching a show about gangsters, I want to see the gangsters prevail. That's all I'm saying.
I can't think of a show, now that I'm thinking about it, can't think of a show where the gangsters actually do win in the end, right? It usually starts off them in the struggle, and then they start becoming gangsters, and then it shows their success and all the fun, appealing lifestyle of being a gangster. Then you start seeing the holes, right? And someone starts snitching, or the cops get onto you, and then the downfall begins. And that's where that's kind of where I stopped watching it. And
there's a few of them out there.
You think of American Gangster with Denzel, right? And his downfall. Where did it start? It started when he wore that fur coat.
That's right. You know what? I hate it when he's in that room just snitching, just sitting back snitching.
Telling on everybody, yeah.
Telling on everybody, just snitching. Man, I hate that. I hate the way that movie went. I love that movie, but I don't like the way it ended. And it's the same one with that other movie he was in where he's like, King Kong, blah, blah, blah. Training Day. Like, Training Day is an awesome movie. Like, smoked the little white guy. Can't remember his name right now. But why did he not die?
Because he's the good guy.
That would have made. We got some echo feedback.
Yeah, we're getting a little echo from your speaker, Ty. I'm hearing Dave's voice through your microphone.
We can cut that.
Yep.
How about now?
Let's see. No, we're good. All right. So, but Lord of War with Nicolas Cage is a movie where the hero, the anti-hero, lives. The Unforgiven, which is a Western with Clint Eastwood, is where the anti-hero lives at the end. There's a couple that are slipping my mind that I know that I like to watch because they end the right way. Ultimately, The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2 end the correct way, right?
Yeah.
With Michael, excommunicating that's right, with Michael, wiping out the bad guys. The Sopranos ends the right way. So, that is a bonus, and I won't tell you how that goes, but there's a few of them. They're few and far between. So I think that's just my, caveat to a good movie. Did we get away in the end?
Have you seen the Peaky Blinders?
No, I haven't, but I've heard that is like the Sopranos of England, and everybody says I need to check it out. It's like on Netflix or something.
It's a good one. It starts a little slow. It took me a couple times to dedicate watching a couple episodes. So if it starts a little slow, but just give it time, you'll be hooked. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
The bad guys. That's another one where I guess you may not like the ending, but they had to end the series, right? But everything leading up to that is awesome. You watch the cops lose all the time, every episode. So
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I know they get their man a lot of the time, but they ain't getting their man with them cartels. And most of the time, it's the internal gang violence that wipes them out. Right? Like they kill themselves. I have watched that Narco show.
Yeah,
I've watched a couple episodes of it. The thing is, I got kids, right? So, like, if I'm gonna watch one of these shows that is ultra violent, ultra sexy, ultra cursing, you know, whatever. Like, I don't do it around them.
Right.
And the reason is there's some studies, and I've looked at them, and I don't have them off the top of my head, but I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but I've looked at them, and it says if, you know, your kids start watching rated R television between the ages of like 5 and 8, they're 10 times more likely to smoke. They're 10 times more likely to do drugs. They're, you know, there's like all these statistics that say why they shouldn't watch certain shows. So, you know, I end up watching things like cartoons that I hate.
Like Bluey?
Bluey, yeah. I mean, I've heard of Bluey. I don't know that I've watched it. But listen, I took my kids to a movie the other night, and it was Friday night. My wife was doing something, and I took them to see this new animated Lord of the Rings. Have you heard about this? You heard about this, Ralph? Yeah. And, you know, it's a cartoon. So when I was like 10 years old, my dad was like, hey, you're a man. You don't watch no more cartoons. No more cartoons. Cartoons are for little kids. You ain't watching no more cartoons. I loved cartoons as a kid. I loved getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, turning on Transformers or Tom and Jerry. I don't know what was going on. But I loved turning on those. But my dad said no more cartoons. He said it's not what you do. So I never watched another cartoon. So then, like, all these adult people that I know are like into cartoons, and I'm always like, man, that's for kids. What are you doing? You know. So I create this kind of stigma against people who watch cartoons, thanks to my dad, who I love, by the way. Thank you for that, Pop. And so now, like, I've got kids, but I still hate watching cartoons. Like, no matter what, I can't get into them. I just, even if it's a cartoon movie that has adult content, I still think, that's stupid. Why would I want to do that? You know? It's just how I am. I'm not saying it bad about anybody else. Like, you know, my Teach Me Bees guy, because we don't do Teach Me Bees anymore, but, you know, my Teach Me Bees guys, like, this is a 27-year-old, 28-year-old man, and he loves The Lion King. I'm thinking, like, dude, you are a bad word that starts with a P. Anyways, and, you know, I'm going to keep it PG on the show, but so, you know, I got to go to these movies. So my kids, you know, we go see this movie, we get the popcorn, we got some candy, and I'm like, this is perfect. I just clonk my head back like this. I know I paid $25 for it or whatever, but I just went to sleep. I was like, this is a perfect time to catch up, take a nap, get some rest. They're enthralled with the movie, and hopefully I don't have to go to the bathroom and wake me up. And, you know, so that's how I do it. So now when I turn on the TV at home and we have to put on some lame kids show, you know, I just go to sleep. Dad, did you like that movie? Yeah. You were sleeping the whole time. I know, but I was listening. I was just resting my eyes.
That's
catching up on them Z's.
The sleep I got. That's what I liked about it.
All right. We got 20 minutes about absolutely nothing important in the world.
You know what? TV is important, man. Like that list, a lot of people engaged in that list. That's, you know, Peaky Blinders, Ozarks. Have you seen Ozarks?
Ozarks is like a show. Who's the main guy in that?
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. No, I haven't seen Ozarks.
You got to do that one too.
What is Ozarks about?
Ozark is about a Jason Bateman, main character. He's an accountant, and he's an accountant for the cartel, and they off his buddy, and he's about to be offed with them, and he sells them on this dream like he can set up the cartel in the Ozarks, and the cartel gives him a deadline, you know, says, all right, you better make something happen. And then he moves his entire family to the Ozarks, and they set up shop there, and it's just an adventure from there. But
I'll check it out. I
awesome.
like Jason Bateman. What channel is this on?
I think it's on Netflix now. You can find it on Netflix.
Netflix. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Ozarks. I'm gonna get back to you. And you know, I'll say that I do think that TV is important too, because a lot of times, you know, it's good entertainment. and it's a good way to relax. It's a good way to come down at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know it's also your busy time, right? This is when business is booming for you.
Yeah, this has been when business is booming. But listen, man, I'll tell you this, and this is good for any listener out there. You might see you might see me on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere where it's social media, and you might think, oh man, Dave is successful or this or that and all these things. And you might have that impression, but I'm going to tell you something. Life is hard. Business is hard. And this for me is probably one of the hardest seasons in business that I've probably been through in, the last, 15 years. And I don't know if you saw, but all my bees died. I lost all my bees. So I had my bee business, Honey for Hope. And just a couple of weeks ago, I got a call and my bees went down to California and every one of my bees died. And I'm going to tell you that this was something that we built for our family. This was something that I hoped my kids would take over, that my kids could do. We were building this to pay for, our farm and some other things that we were building. And I had been building this for multiple years, and all my bees went down to California to pollinate, and they looked good when they got there. But within a couple of weeks, every bee died, and we had some colony collapse. We had some varroa, whatever hit the hives, wiped them out. But I lost $350,000 of investment. Yeah. And it rocked, and it has just rocked like us to the bone. All of the investment, the honey mixers, the employee, the beekeeper, the podcast show that we built, the website. Just all the investment and all of that, it was set to take care of our family and our kids. And so you invest in things, and all of that dream, everything that we put into it died. Everything died. Everything failed. And at the end of it, after investigation, what it came down to was my beekeeper was trying to save money. He bought some cheap products. And then when he put the products in, he spread them out too thin for probably $200. Over $200 went cheap and cost us $350,000 in loss. And that's a good lesson for anybody out there. Don't cut corners. Don't go cheap, because like I said, you never told me you were doing this. We would never cut a corner here. We know how important these things are. And, as you build a business or as you have a career or whatever you do, don't cut the corner, because that's a catastrophic loss. And then loss number 2, I have a business called Seattle Landscape Designs, and I have a president of that company who runs that company for me. And that guy came to me, and he came into my office and he said, "Hey, I need to talk to you for a minute." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "I want you to know I've been lying to you." And I was like, "What? You've been lying to me about what?" And he said, "Man, I haven't ran a single lead. I haven't met a single customer. I haven't done anything. All the jobs I told you I ran, all the jobs I was bidding, it was all lies. And I was too afraid to do it, and I had these problems, and I've had anxiety, and I'm paying this guy a lot of money, right? And another catastrophic loss. Bam, and that's just 2 of many that I can share with you. But on the entrepreneurial journey, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as someone, you never know what's going on in someone's life behind the scenes, right? You never know what's happening. And some of these betrayals, this guy who betrayed me, who lied to me, who came in and said he was lying, I had no other choice but to move on from that person. No matter what, it could never be better. We could never fix that after that betrayal happened. But the only way that I can explain how that feels is, have you ever seen the movie Braveheart? Okay,
Yep.
there's this scene in Braveheart, right, where, you know, William Wallace, Mel Gibson, you know, he's going after battle and he challenges the king to battle, and the king comes down and he's got this guard with him, and this guard's in black and he's got this black helmet. You can't see his face. And you know, they're losing the battle or whatever, and he's like, you know, shoot the archers, we'll kill our own men, and the king leaves, and William Wallace sees him and he's like chasing after him. You know, and the guy in the black hat turns around to fight William Wallace, and you know, they get knocked off their horses, and William Wallace grabs him and he gets his helmet off and he's like, stop, stop, stop. And it's Robert the Bruce, his friend, who he swore a pledge with, right? And like, this guy is my friend. He's a Christian brother. Like, I've known him a long time. And the betrayal, like William Wallace's face, like of just like just couldn't believe it, right? Like, that's how I felt, man, as we tie this back to television. And you know, those betrayals, those things that hurt you, like it hurt, like it was like, dude, I expect this from like this kind of person or this person or whatever, but not from you, man. You know, not from a trusted friend. But we can never be friends now, right? And so, like, that whole thing is over. So that's life, right? Nobody knows those things are going on. How are we going to make it? How are we going to survive? How are we going to survive that kind of catastrophic loss? We don't expect that. But you keep going, you keep pushing, you keep your head up, you don't quit, you find a way. Anyway, that's what's been going on in my little tiny world.
That's a lot of stuff, man. And one thing I can say about you is I know you'll find a way, and you always do, just like that marathon, you know. You found a way to finish that 26 mile. You weren't gonna give up and take that free ride back to camp. You know, and much is the same with life and business. You know, you never know what people have going on. You know, like, you know, I got stuff going on, the next person has stuff going on, and yeah, you know, people are always fighting their own battles, man. I'm sorry to hear that you went through all that. But
Yeah.
One thing I know about you is you're gonna bounce back and you're gonna persevere. So
Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, you know what? That's the thing about life, right? If it was easy every day, if it was easy every day, like what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a challenge. We need the challenges to keep us sharp, to keep us focused. And the thing about problems, at least in my mind, is that problems keep you close to God, right? Because, like, if I never have problems, then what do I need God for? What do you need a creator for? What do you need that? You
Right.
don't, right? If everything is easy and everything is laid out for you perfectly, then why do I need a higher power?
right.
You know what I mean? You don't. You know? And so it's just it's just how life goes. So you just keep pushing, you keep working hard, you know you're going to have setbacks. But then what's important? Family, right? Oh man, my kids. I love seeing my kids. My little boy Charlie, you know, I love seeing Charlie. And that's also why I think it's important to celebrate the wins. Like, you know, I love your story about going down to California and getting more tats, you know, just living your life, celebrating you, celebrating what you want, what makes you happy. You know, getting some eagles with the, you know, the weaved baskets or whatever on the shoulders, touching up the, you know, the language on the chest, you know, touching up the hands. Like, good for you. You know, that's good. Celebrate life, enjoy it. Because if you don't celebrate it, if you don't celebrate even the little wins, the little victories, the little things like, man, we had a great week, let's go out to dinner, or gosh, it's the anniversary or the birthday, you know, whatever it is, like, just go all in on those things. Because at the end of the day, like, I bet we could sit here and we could just trade stories of like disappointments in life. right? We could share stories of things that are going on in our personal lives that are just like, ooh, that's bad. And we could go back and forth and one up each other one after another, right? And so could everybody who's listening in on the show. So celebrate the little wins, celebrate the big wins, enjoy those moments and cherish them, because those are the moments that help you get through the tough moments.
Those are the moments that help you learn to enjoy those tough moments as well, right? Find the silver lining in these losses or in this struggle that we're going through. It's like you said, it brings you closer to God. It brings you closer to the Creator, because it makes you reestablish your faith and understand that these things are happening for a reason, and I know you've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times where you question why these things are happening, and then somewhere down the line, it all makes sense. And you just know, like, this thing that happened couldn't have happened if I didn't go through this struggle, so you start to realize, like, I may be going through this storm right now, but there's sunny skies and there's greener pastures at the end of this. Just got to endure, And so I try to go through every struggle or every hardship in life or every loss or every failure with that mindset that everything's happening for a reason, and things will be better,
Yeah. And things might not be better right away.
There's no timeline on that. You can't put a timeline on when things will get better. You just gotta know that things will. And then the other thing is you can't worry about things that haven't happened yet, and things that are out of your control. Man, those things are silent killers, man, especially for us big guys. So I try to be probably more so me. I mean, you're always active and staying fit, but I try to be mindful of letting stressful situations get to me or, weigh me down, because I know that it's weighing me down in more ways than one, not just mentally, but physically as well. So, yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it sometimes.
No,
right?
Things are out of your control.
Like you just can't do it. Like you just can't do it. And what I find is that there's very few people that actually take personal responsibility for themselves, their actions, their program, Like I was telling this guy who had been lying about this business, I was like, because he was telling people, oh man, yeah, I'm done there. And, my heart's just not in it. And I was like, it's nice that you can go around and say, my heart's not in it. It's nice that you can use that as an excuse. But at the end of the day, you stole and you lied and you stole from me and my family, and you pretended to work, and you pretended to do what you said. That's money that could have gone on the table for my kids. That's money that could have gone on into their college education. That's money. And you're a liar and a thief and a stealer. And like, I forgive you for what you did because I believe that's the right thing to do. But it doesn't make it better. Like, it's not going to fix it. And what you've done, the damage that you've caused, is not going to be fixed just overnight. And you saying sorry and then moving on, and then you get to give people the nice excuse of, my heart just wasn't in it. Cool. And, the collateral damage that one creates. And so, like, I think that's as also, like, remembered around these times of Christmas, like, hug your family tight. Love your family, your kids, your kids are the one thing that you have in life that you love and you support and you cherish and you help build up and you help grow and you nurture. And, and they love you no matter what, right? Like, your kids, they always love you. They're always there for you, And so, like, I think you just love your family and be close with the ones that you're close with. Like, my parents, I know, no parent is perfect, but I know that my parents have my back. I know they do. Like, they might not be able to help me. They might not be able to do anything for me. but I know that they care. And just sometimes knowing that somebody cares, man, it can mean the world to you, you know? So celebrate those times.
Yeah. You know, and I think about it often, you know, when you said 100 years from now, nobody's going to know who we were. You know, our great grandkids they're going to see our picture on the wall. They're not going to know who we were or what we were like. And so I try to think about that also when when I'm going through things. And it's a good reminder to love hard and enjoy the trips, you know, enjoy the ones that love you, you know, and yeah, think about that all the time.
Yeah, it's important. Any special tradition that your family does for Christmas?
We're pretty traditional, nothing special. You know, it's Christmas Eve is with family, like extended family, and then Christmas morning is Christmas morning. You know, the kids trying to wake us up at 4 a.m. as soon as they open their eyes, and we may have just went to bed at 2 a.m. You know, finishing up wrapping, and you know, and then it's just a tiresome day of putting toys together, and you know, same thing we all go through.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like you have an enormous family. And I don't know, like I don't know if this is true or not, but when you get on the Puyallup Only Facebook page, it seems like 50% of the people have Satayacum last name. I can't even keep track of all of I mean, you have so many relatives. It's like I can't even track your family tree. Like, who is that person related to this, and who is that, and who? Yeah, there's so many. Like, how do you all get together? Do you rent out a hotel?
Yeah, we rent a big space. We had before they tore the event center down at the old Emerald Queen, we had our Satayacum family Christmas party there, and we filled that place up.
I believe you did. How many Satayacums are there?
Hundreds. Yeah, I mean,
because there is, isn't there?
What's that?
There is, isn't there?
There is. You know, Satayacum is one of the biggest families in the Puyallup tribe. You know, and because you have the Satayacums and you have Earls that are also Satayacum. The Rideouts are also Satayacum. So there's a huge branch of the Satayacum family name. You know,
so like 75% of per caps actually go to the Satayacum family.
I don't know about that, but
it seems so if you pooled all your money together, threw it into a large investment account, there could be an enormous windfall.
Yeah, we could relaunch Satayacum Enterprises like my grandpa had and Uncle Buddy back in the days.
I mean, with all the family, yeah, that's true because there is so much family. With all that family, you know, it would seem that where are all these family members getting to vote for you on the tribal election?
It's the same, you know, like it's some of them may not vote. You know, a lot of the older ones do, but it's getting the younger ones in there to vote. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I had great support from my family. So
good. That's good. That's good. Are you handing out proxies at the Christmas event?
Yep, handing out special Easter eggs and at the Easter egg party and you know all that stuff. So, but no,
really, there's a couple hundred. Really, that's like for real.
Yeah, and that's just off the top of my head. Yeah, without going through the list, you know. I mean, we have Satayacum family gatherings, and there's a lot of people. There's hundreds of people there. So,
that's pretty special.
It is, you know, and there's a few of us that really try to keep the family together and doing these things. It's been a while since we've all gathered, so we're due for a big family gathering. But you know, I mean, you probably remember growing up, man, our parents were a lot closer. You know, like there was traditions. Like I remember growing up, my mom was always going to Auntie Barbara's house.
Yeah.
every once a week, and they're playing cribbage and
Yep.
that type of stuff. There's always a family Christmas party, and as you get older, you watch the next generation. They're not picking that up and carrying that on. And so same thing with our Satayacum family. It's kind of fallen off the last 5-10 years. So there's a few of us that are trying to get us all back together and keep our family close and tight.
Yeah, you got to, that's important. You got to be careful too, because you never know with as large of a family as that is. That's got to be the largest family in the tribe, is it?
It's so the Satayacum family is huge. Dillon family is huge. Believe it or not, Westcott's pretty big. Westcott's a big family because you got Westcott's and the Rolstons. And then but I'd say the biggest are the Satayacums, the Dillons, and the those two stick out.
I saw you on Facebook with, I think, one of the police guys, Todd Westcott, right?
Yeah.
Who were his parents?
Oh man, I think his mom is Piala. I have not met his parents, but I know his brother is Brian. His uncle is Ron Rolson.
Yeah, I know Ron.
Yeah, you guys are a family, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that connects, to be perfectly honest, but I know Ron.
Yeah, so I haven't met Todd's parents, so I'm not sure. I know his grandpa was the tribal leader. I think it was Frank Westcott, or man, I'm chopping it up. He's going to be upset, but his grandpa's picture's up on the wall as one of our former tribal leaders. So there's a connection there for years. But yeah, Todd's one of my good buddies. Like he's number 2 in command over at tribal police. He had I dove with him on his boat, the Tin Can, for 10 years, almost 8 to 10 years.
Wow. So if you got to bury a body, you got a good connection.
Yeah. He can take him to the train station for me.
There you go. I like it. All right, man. Well, listen, that's good. So, we got to bring this thing in for a landing here, but, what's the number one most important thing you want to accomplish in, 2025?
Number thing I want to accomplish is, prioritizing health. Health is wealth. Health is wealth, baby. And 41 now, which means I got to go get those special checkups, the extra special checkups from the doctors.
Boom.
So yeah, I'm getting older, man, and starting to realize that health is important. So you got to take those extra steps and self-care. Just working on myself, my relationships, and my health. Those are big priorities. And I feel like everything else will fall in line. So
that's good. I love it. That's a good goal. Think about your goals. If you're out there in the audience, think about what's the number one thing you want to accomplish. Write it down, put it down, and put down a vacation. Put down something that you can do that's awesome for yourself. How can you save up for it? How can you put it in place? And I'd also challenge you to do one thing that's really hard. Like, can you do one thing that you think, man, I could never accomplish this. This is not possible. This is something that's insane. And I think that, like, you start to do that, and then you start to really change the way you look at your life and what you're doing. Like for me, I want to run in 12 marathon events in 12 months. That's my goal.
One a month, huh?
One a month for 2025. And I just did my first one in December 1st. I ran in the Seattle Marathon. And my goal is to run in the Honolulu Marathon, December 8th of 2025. My big vacation is to spend a week or two in Hawaii after I run that marathon. That's my big plan I want to do. And then my big goal for 2025 is just to get my businesses stabilized, get things back in order the way that they need to be. But you think about those things, you write those down, put down those steps, think about, what do I want to accomplish in my life? What do I want to do for a vacation? Like, even if it's going camping for a week, even if it's going camping for a weekend, like, it doesn't have to be something extravagant, but something that you put on the calendar and you block it out and you say, this is my time with my family. Even if it's a canoe trip or a fishing trip or whatever it is, like, you put that down. And then you don't have to run a marathon. It can be a 10K. It can be you can climb Mount Rainier. You can, like, whatever it is, like something that's hard, that pushes you to be motivated in life, is a really exciting thing. So I would challenge anybody in the audience to, take your life to the next level and focus on 3 things for 2025.
I like that.
Boom. All right. What final thoughts do you have?
I think you said it best. I think it's the best way to end is, for me, it's self-care, health, write those things down, write goals on what you're going to do to achieve those. And obviously vacations are a given, right? Like, I love vacations, and those are definitely in my future. So.
That's good. I do see you taking vacations. I'm not worried about you taking vacations. I know you're out there doing cannonballs.
Yep.
That's a good way.
No, it's been great catching up. Been great catching up, man. So.
Yeah, it's been a fun show, and I'm excited for the next one. We've had a lot of fun topics. This has been a very good afternoon, and we're gonna be back in the saddle, and listen, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't know, anywhere it's social. We're both hanging out. Check out the show. Give us a like. Give us a share. Drop your comments in the comment box. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Let's rock 2025. Let's make it a good year.
Thrive in 25.
Thriving in 25. I like it.
That's right.
25 and alive. I wish I was 25.
25 and alive. If I was 25, and I would be doing a whole bunch of different things right now. I would not be on this show. I would be probably just going to bed.
Sounds like me at 25. So
there you go. That's what you do in 25, especially, during Christmas time. All right, brother. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hoyt.